All right, good people. You're welcome once more to Sam Center. This month, we have been focusing on generally on traveling abroad, right? And I think I have a lot to say since a lot of Cameroonians. Yeah, so I'll be going on with another aspect of life abroad. And this time around, I want to give advice, general advice to those who are traveling or those who are relocating to different countries. So I'll be focusing on my experiences to inform and to guide you so that you don't make the same mistakes which I did. So generally, when you are leaving your country to a foreign country, you have to be very, very vigilant because it's like a jungle out there. It's like a battle, kind of a fight for survival. That's the reality, especially as a foreigner. Because as you are going to that country, you come across other foreigners who came to the same country for the same purpose, and most often is greener pastures. So it's a kind of a battlefield where everybody is trying to grab something, okay? The first people whom I would advise that you should really be vigilant about them is these people who are so godly. Yeah, there are some people who just use the name of, say, in the name of Jesus or Allah or something like that to scam you because they know that once you hear the word Jesus Christ or God attached to their name or things like innocent, you begin to think that they are so holy, they are so good, and you begin to trust them. I'm not saying that they are actually evil. I'm just saying that that should not carry you away. Don't be moved by the good and holy talks. Be moved rather by your reasoning. If what they are saying is not correct, then don't go for it. Forget about God will bless. Forget about Jesus Christ is this. Forget about all those chapters. If it's about a business, talk the business and complete it. And if the business is not a deal, tell them it's not a deal, even if it means in Jesus' name. Additionally, don't lend money to people. Most of them hardly ever pay, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm a Cameroonian, for example. If I lend money to a fellow Cameroonian and he or she doesn't give it back in a foreign country, it's very difficult for me to begin to go to the police because they will look at us as funny. How can you be taking your fellow country person to the police? That notwithstanding, the community in which you are will also be looking at you with a kind of disdain because they consider that you are trying to betray or put down another country citizen. So to be on the safer side, don't borrow money, don't lend money to anyone except you are willing to lose that amount of money. Still on this issue of money, I will always advise you not to just trust or give money to people because you see them driving in big cars or big offices. I remember there was a time I met somebody, I wouldn't call the country. We just met in the streets, in a parking, open air parking. And since he was in a car, I took out all my documents, showed him, and begged him that, please, this is money, just take, don't even give me a receipt. And the guy took the money. It was kind of 400,000 francs. And I never saw him till today. Called, he will not pick, Most of them are like that. Actually, what happened is I wanted him to follow up a document for my brother. So I just saw him with a car and I knew that he was trustworthy and actually got the advert online. But the guy came and took my money and went his way. I mean, I don't really like to talk about those stories. Sometimes they are painful. The best thing is if you really want to deal with somebody who claims to be, say, for example, a lawyer, then meet them in their office. If he has no office, then he's no lawyer. As simple as that. And even at the office, you need to be very strong enough to ask for his registration number. You can Google his name to be sure that this person will not run away. And even if he runs away, this is where you can find them. There is no hurry, especially when you are the owner of the money. He who has the money has the power. So if you don't take that advice, you have money and you're still begging and you are still naive, then that your money will be swindled in no time. Even the locals in the country, there are some of them who are lazy and then they come to you and say, if you have any problem, give them money. They are going to sort it out. It's their country. And out of ignorance or out of respect, you give them your money. And then before you realize, there's nothing you can do about it because they have disappeared. And nowhere in the world will you take a local up to the authorities and win the case. It's very rare, very, very rare. And most often you'll be the loser. What if the courts are not even expressing themselves in the language that you do? How much do you even have to pay a lawyer for such cases? So prevention is better than cure. Of course, those of us who are in foreign countries, we need a lot of assistance when it comes to paperwork. I think you can get a lawyer or you can get a competent person. Don't just meet people on the streets who try to convince you. That's what I'm saying. All right, away from that, I would strongly advise you to, let me say, be prudent. Be very prudent. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of us are out there in a battlefield. we are out to get support for ourselves and for our families and our siblings and stuff like that. And sometimes when you see, let's say, some opportunity you hurriedly share with your friend, and before you realize, he or she has gone there, or he even goes and blocks it so that you don't get it. It happens, okay? So avoid telling people your plans, avoid, rejoicing when nothing has happened, because most often than not, they'll ruin you. And mind you are not in your country. There are a lot of spies, there are a lot of cameras. Africans in particular are generally on the negative end. So you need to be aware of where you are coming from and your current environment. And similar or in line with this particular aspect, avoid certain people whom your blood or you are not really aligning with them. There are some nationalities who are noted for a particular crime, say for drugs and so on. You don't just need to meet them and say, okay, because this guy has money, I'm going to make him my friend. No. What if he implicates you? I mean, I'm not saying that everybody in a particular country is a criminal, a scammer, or a drug dealer, but then that should just be a cautioning sound in your head that you need to be careful. And closely linked to this is, why will you even befriend somebody when you don't know what they are doing? You just meet and you have fun, you go for outings. I mean, that's not so prudent even to you. Before you take somebody, for example, to your house, even as a friend, you need to know what they are doing. We're all abroad and we need to, of course, bear the reality. We are not in our home country where you can be like, I'm just idling away. No. Whoever is abroad must have a reason to be out. And more often than not, that is the reason why they are in that country. You meet people, they are scared to tell you where they are staying. They are scared to tell you what they do. They are even scared to tell you their real names. You have never seen their identity card, yet you are so confident with them. Please, you are treading on an unknown ground, and most often it's dangerous for you. Don't buy phones on the road. Don't buy electronics on the road. If you want to buy a phone, go to where they buy phones, like a phone shop, and you get your receipt. People might steal phones or steal things, sell to you, and then you are implicated. Sometimes people even get items which do not belong to them, and they plead with you to keep it. And when you keep, before you realize, there's a knock at your door. And the authorities or whoever is in charge, they just go and get that item. And you are gone. You have nobody to turn to. So there are other 2 points which are very, very important, and I would like to share with you. A bird at hand is worth two in the bush. I heard this statement, I heard this proverb a lot when I was growing up, and I want to tell you it works. When I was starting my career, I actually got a job. It was at Hilton Hotel. And then they just told me to go and wait because I needed to wait for my papers to be processed. So while waiting, a restaurant called me and I went to that restaurant, and then the restaurant said, okay, we are going to hire you. And just 2 days after, when they checked my CV, they noticed that I was very highly educated. So they just sent me to their head office, like go and continue to work in the head office. So I went there and I was like, this general secretariat, everybody is giving you calls, you are the person directing. I had food, I was being dropped off and picked up. I felt so great. Meanwhile, Hilton called and they were like, we have sent your contract letter. Sign that letter. And you know what? Behold, I don't even want to. Anyway, I wrote to Hilton and said, I'm sorry, I wouldn't get that job. And that was it. Hilton never got back to me. I mean, it was a chance they gave me to start my career, which I don't know where I should have been today. But no regrets anyway. I continued working in this head office. And just after 3 weeks, they paid me off and asked me to go and that they are going to call me. Till today, they have never called me. So I lost that job. And come to think of it, these people had me working with them. I had no contract. I had no legal grounds. But Hilton had an offer letter for me. I don't want to tell you how that cost me. Financially, emotionally, psychologically, and lots of other things. So to cut the long story short, if you have a contract, you better sign it. Don't begin to turn around, Closely linked to that are people who resign from their jobs and then they go looking for other jobs. No. Because when you resign in a foreign country, it means you are no more pegged, or your reason for being there is no more valid. And most often, you might be asked to quit the country before you get a new job. There were situations where we tendered our resignation letter, or at least I tendered my resignation letter, and it was refused. Then I went my way. And then the company filed a complaint that I am not coming to work. But in the real sense, if you tender your resignation and it's refused, send them an email. And if they refuse to acknowledge, you have the labor office to go and complain. The summary is be on the right side of the law. If you keep playing games, it will backfire eventually. Lastly, and more importantly, have a mentor. If you watch my videos, you realize all the time I'm making allusions to mentors, because mentors guide you. They help you not to make the same mistakes which they have made, and they help you to follow the path which they used. So in most of these countries where we want to go, there are people who have been there, and you notice that this person is somebody that can be of help. It could be your friend, it could be your brother, it could be some reputable person. They are always there. The reason why many of us avoid mentors is mentors always tell us the truth. They always give us the bitter reality, and we shy away from them. We simply want something that is sugar-coated, or somebody who will be pampering us. And sooner or later, we learn into shit. So please, get a mentor. All right, thank you for listening. Thank you for following up. And if this video is impacting you, why not give it a like and kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a moral booster for us. Have fun, guys.